We are live.
Are we? We're live. Okay, I hope somebody comes.
Yeah.
Because I got the prettiest thing I want to show you. I think so, anyways. I'm going to have to take it off me. Because I think I'm keeping it. Because I like it so
Oh, you're
much.
wearing it?
Yeah, I'm wearing it. See? Pretty. I used my button chain that I made. You guys remember that? Button chain? Doesn't look anybody's here yet. I hope somebody shows up. People.
If not, we'll just
A
keep
lot of people are
talking.
saying they're going to watch it later, so maybe that's it. I just always wish a few people would show up so we have somebody to
We'll get
bounce off of while we're on, but that's okay. We do them live so we can, do that, but also too, Javi doesn't have to render it when we're having one of those days when there's too much to do. So we could just, it's on YouTube and whoopee days we're done. She can go do her Friday stuff at home then.
Oh,
So-
Debbie!
Who's Debbie?
Hello, how you
she
doing?
always comes. Yay,
I'm
Debbie.
happy she showed up.
Yes, I am too. If you're happy and you know it, say me out.
Sorry, that was my song.
That's Javi's song. She
Hi.
teaches us that. See who else is there? Juana.
Hello.
¿Cómo estás, Juana? Let's see. So I was going to show you guys.
Woohoo. I'm so happy
I
now.
put this picture up a little while ago.
You might have to
You guys might have seen it on Facebook. This is what I made last night. And I finished it off today by taking the button chain from a few weeks ago and adding to it. Luann's here. Hey, Luann.
Hey, Luann.
So, I cut it up and then I took my little button stacks and put on there and, everything for the button chain, which was so fun to make. But parts of it were a little bit too rigid, so I just want to cut them out and then take the parts that are more fluid so that I could put them in this chain. So I did. And I finished it off with a little bit of chain at the end. This thing is so dang cute. It's got all these little pretty things here. There's some little puffy heart from the side. This is vintage here. This is like Victorian brass. And this, I love you to the moon and back. That's my new thing. This charm is one of my favorites. We have them at the website, and also I have a glass cab now, cameo cab, that says "Love You to the Moon." Cat says "Moon and Back," and it has two little kitty cats at the bottom of it.
Luann said it's
hey,
so
Lisa,
pretty.
and Colleen's here.
Colleen's here.
Oh, who says they're a bad penny?
Oh, that was.
Oh, Debbie.
Debbie.
I thought so, but I
got
didn't want to say.
Aw, hi, Lisa.
You're not a bad penny.
Aw.
Okay, Lisa's here. Okay, so we're going to get started
pretty.
because I don't want to keep you here all day and all night. But I just wanted to see my pretty little thing I made.
Oh, hi, Beansy.
Beans is here. Yay, Chris Wheeler's here. I think that's how you say it. Well, we're going to have a good group today.
Yeah, I think so, too.
So Colleen likes my necklace. Yay. You can almost look at this
Hello
and say,
from
yeah, I
Kentucky.
know who made that. Hi from Kentucky. Hi from Ohio. Yes, good old Brenda Sue, who makes everything so busy. And you know what? In a few weeks here, I'm going to do a challenge for myself to do an assemblage that only can have like 10 or 12 things. And see how far I get. Because, my thing is, hi, Monica, from Columbus, not too far from us.
No, we're really close.
My thing is always, I got to fill all the cracks. But maybe I can fit stuff up better so we don't have a lot of cracks. Or do something else. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that because it's not my way. My way is, if you followed me on assemblies before, we always put the big pieces down first. Then we go to the next biggest pieces. And at the end, we do what I call the fill.
Hi, Betty.
The little toppings. Hi, Betty.
And Darla.
So anyhow, I'm going out to dinner tonight with some friends that I haven't seen in a long time. They're my dear friends. And she called me this morning. She says, hey, Brenda, what are you doing later on? She said, me and John want to take you guys out. And I'm like, oh, cool. And my John is off tonight, so he could go. So it's even better. Well, they wanted to go like right after we're done here. So, but I think I'm going to wear this. It's going to be for me.
Yeah, I think you should.
I like this. But it has my little button stack. Do you remember these from the last video? It was like a few weeks ago. You can scroll back and see if you haven't. To do the button chain, which was all wired, and I did the button stacks here.
I've seen somebody make earrings out of those. So.
Right? Yeah.
It was cute.
The only thing is
Darla.
most buttons have 2 holes or 4. Dara's here. Two holes or 4. So when you stick your little wire up through, it's going to be a little bit wonky. So what I do is I just kind of stagger them. and it still comes out looking okay. But yeah, this is my idea that I got from, well, it's not my idea at all, being honest. It's a Nina Bagley type thing that she always did. And I told you that time, I'll tell you again. If you want some inspiration,
Hi, Patricia Martin.
hi Patricia, is a necklace is beautiful. I'm from Emporium, PA. Oh, so glad to meet you, Patricia. So glad you came. And then there's V Max's here too. Awesome. I'm trying to look over Javi's shoulder here because I don't have this in front of me. She's got
so she
it
can
up
see all the
inside.
guys
She's
out
over there producing away and doing her little Javi stuff that makes the videos nice. Bat Mary's here and Michelle. Yay. So anyway, you know, that's how I do it. Big stuff, middle stuff, and then the fill that goes on top. And the fill that goes on top is where sometimes it gets out of hand with assemblage, I found.
Oh, yeah.
And you find yourself putting stuff on and pulling it off and looking at it. And the more you do assemblage, the fussier you get about it. And you go back and you look and you find you pull a lot of stuff off. Like, for example, on this one, I would have rather had a rounder neckline. But what do I have here? I have this thing sticking up. And it was because of the way I placed these buttons on here, they were sticking up too, so I needed fill underneath. So I put it there. So it's a little bit irregular, but then, you know me, I like irregular. Hey, Jan. But I was also telling you to go look up Nina, I gotta look up how to say her name, Bagley on Pinterest or just Google her or whatever. And she is, in my opinion, the queen of using natural, organic things along with found items to make delightful jewelry. And then she does other little things along the way, that like a little bit of wire stuff, a little bit hammered stuff. She gets pebbles. She loves pebbles, like little, what some people call them lucky stones, little tiny ones. And she takes and drills them underwater so that she can make pens. Or she wraps them with wire or whatever. It's just wonderful. Hey, Lisa, thank you so much for that. That's a big compliment coming from you.
Hello.
So, that's just for you, Javi. So, but I did it. I'll just flip it over and show you. See, it's kind of sticking up like that. You think, oh, that's going to come off. No, it ain't.
Oh, yeah.
No, it ain't. That's not coming off of there. Not unless you took and wiggle it.
Wiggle, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I mean, it's not coming off there.
Force it off of
because the way that it's attached underneath. And I did that because I had a big fat crack.
Oh.
And here I got a glue strand, you know, and you'll have that.
You might have to bring it a little bit
I'm
towards
sorry.
the center.
Thank you, honey. But can you see how clean?
Yeah, it's
There's still a little bit of glue, this and that I could pick off of it. But sometimes you got to be careful doing that at the end, too, because it might be a structural thing. Thank you, Jan. And here you go. It starts coming apart because you did that, you know. It's not the end of the world. You can always fix it. But, yeah, I got pretty clean on this one. This is all right. But I took a bunch of stuff. Yeah, I see some stuff right along in here needs cleaned up. But not much. Not much. Take a little bit of alcohol and swab. Or if you have some Goo Gone. Goo Gone. I don't have any up here. I have some downstairs. But that, you got to have that around when you're doing assemblies because you're using glue a lot. And it is great because it doesn't really have a solvent in it. It's made out of orange peel or something. It smells good. And there's oil. In orange peel, there's oil. So the oil helps to kind of lift and cleanse it, and it doesn't scratch it or, you know, mess with the color or anything like that. So, Goo Gone. Get it in Walmart or whatever.
Nice.
Well, I'm pleased to hear that because I'm trying to work to make them better. Because I talk too much and I know it. But anyway, you like it or you don't. But anyway, I like this and I'm happy with this and I think I'm going to keep it at least for a while. But when we said in the title of this, and when I was talking about on Facebook earlier today, I did say that it would be buttons and organic material. So what in the world am I talking about? You can see the buttons, obviously. We got lots of buttons on here of all kinds. They are all vintage, I will tell you that. But none of them here are of, what do you want to call it, big importance. The big shell button here in the middle is worth a little bit of money, you know, $8, $9, $10 maybe. The rest of them, I like common old metal shirt buttons. And sometimes I do search for, let's see if I can find my bag of them so I can show. I know I'm trailing off because I moved backwards. I want to see if I found it. This is my collection of old common metal little shirt buttons. I've got a lot of them, as you can see. And some of them will have a little bit of advertising, graphics. And this one says Stumbles and Son, Devonport. So that's fun. I just love that kind of stuff. Don't you? That's like a little treasure. How do you get rid of the goo gone smell? Well, first of all, number one, you're not going to mind it. This is not nasty. But it will gas off pretty quick. And if it's not gassing off fast enough to suit you, get yourself an alcohol swab and go over it, and you'll be fine. So, but you won't mind. I don't know, maybe. Some people are allergic to everything. I don't know. Not that you are, Colleen, but I don't mind it. It's not like resin fumes or
That's
like
true.
E6000 fumes. Oh, yeah. And then like other things like gilders paste is a little bit strong. But I am bringing gilders paste back in. I don't know if you guys have noticed a little bit's creeping up on the website. I just have missed this stuff. It's got its place, you know? So I have a little bit on there, and I have a whole bunch more in about 10 days. So we'll do a gilders paste project because I haven't done one for 8 or 9 years. But if you want to know more about that product, you could just go back through my videos about 8, 9 years, and you'll see there are quite a few videos about gilders paste and its versatility. But the one bad thing about it is it stinks. It'll give you a headache, so you need ventilation when you're using it. So anyway, I love buttons that say stuff. Me too. I love advertising anything. You know what I like? I like mugs. Old, heavy restaurant-ware mugs that have advertising on them. Coffee advertising is the best. But what I really like, what's a special treasure to me, is if it's maybe from down the Southwest or something, it may have Spanish on it. And those are they're hard to find, and they don't necessarily cost a lot, but they're hard to find. Like from a restaurant called like something in Spanish. I have a little tiny creamer that says, ¿Qué pasó? What happened? ¿Qué pasó? So I love that stuff. And when I could find it, I was like, oh yeah, that's mine right now. Oh no, Brenda, you should be spending more. I don't care, I'm having it. So anywho, that's shirt buttons. So, and I don't have any to sell right now, but I probably will in time because I'm looking for things that I can share. It's not that these things are so uncommon that you could never find them. Dara says, I took a class years ago by Keith LeBout. Yeah, I know who he is. And Nina took the class too, and she was so much fun. Oh, she was in your class. Wow. Wow. Yes, I know who he is well. I'm not taking a class with him, but I know who he is well. Yeah, he was really super, super duper popular on the circuit 10, 15 years ago. I think he still has a pretty good following too. But anywho, let's get started.
Yeah.
Okay. I was saying with the buttons too. The kind of buttons I use are not that unusual. They're not that hard to find. I will say they're harder to get cheap. I used to get them so cheap. But not no more, like they say. I pay a lot more for my buttons now. But still, I try to use ones that I know don't have some kind of a huge collector's value. And like the closest thing that I would have on this desk right now in this horrific mess that has collector's value is this, because it's so carved, and it's the dark mother pearl. And also, this is a picture button, an older picture button. I don't think this means anything special, but picture buttons are something. One thing, a lot of people think when they see these kind of buttons, they kind of mirror back buttons, they think...
Oh, hi, Gloria.
They think, oh, those are worth a lot of money. No, they're not. So don't worry about using them. These are like mid-century 50s, 60s buttons.
Oh.
This one is old. This one goes back to probably beginning 1900s. This one I can't say quite, because they're still making shell buttons coming out of Italy, Thailand, different places. You get to know which ones are old and which ones aren't, But it's kind of hard to say, especially when they're in really good shape. This is another one that's really cool. I got this not too long ago from a really nice lady down in South Carolina, and she and I did a little horse trading, and it was fun. This one doesn't have its back anymore, so it's totally, fine to be making jewelry. The thing you want to watch is when you find little buttons, and I don't have any here to show you. I'd have to dig in my drawer to find little buttons that are picture buttons that have a shank on them. Then it's a call you have to make. Because if they're in perfect condition and they don't have patina and they don't have rust or any scratching or anything like that, and the shank is real good and secure, they may have some worth. Although buttons are higher to buy when you're out, looking around for them, but at the same time, the stuff that used to be highly, highly collectible doesn't go as high anymore, like Bakelite buttons and goofies and realistics and stuff like that. And if you wonder what those are, you can look it up. Because we're not going to teach that today, and I'm probably not even the person to learn it from, because I know a good bit, but I'm certainly no expert. But anyway, I do know that I don't really have anything here that's of huge value. This has got a cast-in link, but it doesn't say Paris or anything. So cast-in links, look for that. And also, if they're picture buttons, you might want to do a little research before you start hacking on. But basically, with buttons, we're repurposing here buttons. So you'll have to decide or do the research to find out if you should leave them alone or not. Okay? But nothing I have here is something that I have to leave alone, which is great because I love buttons and I love button jewelry, and I like to take the things that we have at Bisou Boutiques to combine with them. So we have the best mounts and the best backings for them. Like this backing is what I used on my necklace, this one right here. This is what I used, okay? It's made in the United States. This one's plated, but we have raw ones too. And they're both good. I like plated because you don't have to mess with it, to finish the back. But if you get raw, you can torch it. And it looks great. Looks just as good, So, you can save a little money that way. Hey, Milan, how are you? There's plated and unplated. That's up to you. You get into money, though, when you start using the gold finished ones and the silver plated ones that we have. We don't have any gold right now. We do have a little bit of silver, but they are expensive, and I will tell you they're going up again. So the ones that we do have, the next time I get them, if I get them, are going to be a whole lot more. And that's not because I want to jag anybody. It's because they just cost a whole lot more. It's mostly the plating, being honest with you. Brass has gone up, but the plating is insane. It's just ridiculous. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about wonderful things that you can make from buttons and unexpected things, like the shirt buttons, like little charms that you have. And then, remember that mix that I had the other day? This is all that's left of it, by the way. Remember that keshi pearl mix I had? I had the little connectors in it. Those came from 1928. Mel had a whole big, huge box of them. He says, hey, you want them? They're yours. Pay the shipping. I said, okay. And then this is keshi here. This is keshi. The cornflakes are my favorite. And to tell you, what is a cornflake? Well, as soon as I show you, if you don't know already, you'll know and you'll never forget, because you'll get the point quick. And I'm going to pull a few out of here because there's a few left. And by the way, we still do have some bags of this mix, and it looks a whole lot better than this. This is the dregs. After I weighed it all out and put as much as I could into bags, and I saved this for myself because I just felt like this is the end of it. I don't want to give that to somebody. But anyway, these are cornflake keshi. Japanese pearls. Some are natural, some are cultured. These are dyed. And can you see it? I don't know if you could. Maybe I'll just come and hold it. Can you zoom in for me, honey?
Oh, of course.
Zoom in for me, honey.
Zoom in.
Okay. Can you see them now? See how they're kind of cupped out, guys? And they are drilled, but the drill hole is really small, so you can use them in assemblage easily. They don't tend to show the hole. It's easy to fill them, so I use them. But Yeah, the drill holes hole. But you know, that's the way it is in semi-precious stuff. A lot of times the drill holes are really, really tiny. I'm not quite sure why they do it that way, but probably because the materials are maybe a little fragile. I don't know. Could be why. But these are dyed, and they have this wonderful, wonderful iridescent bug green on them. I love them. So anyway, I like to use unexpected items along with my buttons and my brass and my charms and my little doofus, like these compasses, which are so cool. I've been with these compasses as long as I've been in business. We had these in our line in the 90s. Yeah, I did too. In the 90s. But anywho, they just look so nice. They just give your whole piece movement. I'm kind of mad at myself I didn't put it in my other necklace. But let's get together here and let's try and start something out. Now, with this kind of assemblage, it's kind of like, I often say, it's like working a puzzle. I don't know if you like to do that or not. I'm going to be the first to tell you, I hate puzzles. But I like this. It's so calming and peaceful to me. And you know, in these days, we need something peaceful, don't we? Something we can enjoy to just kind of zone out from all the garbology that's out there, you know, going on. So anyway, yes, we're all safe and well so far, and I hope you are too, honey.
Yeah.
That's good. So anyways, if anybody has a question, just holler out at me between Javi and me. We'll get back to you. There's nothing really that new or special that I'm going to talk about except the disparate materials, that kind of thing, the organic using stuff that I pull out of the keshi pearls. You know, I used to sit at shows, and I used to be bored, you know, because you're sitting there 12 hours a day in a mall. And I sold potpourri. I used to make potpourri. I meant really good potpourri. It was awesome. It had some really cool stuff in it, and it smelled wonderful. I was good at it. So anyway, I get bored. So one day I'm looking at a bag of potpourri. And I says, dang, I could make jewelry out of that.
I did.
And I did. Hey, Deb, and I sold it too. No kidding. I mean,
No way.
you can take a walk in your backyard, especially in the fall. Look for little twigs and little vines. Javi's over here dancing. She must be happy today.
Sorry.
That's okay. You're loud. Little pieces and bits of vine and tiny pebbles and twigs are wonderful. Just, you know, acorn caps.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Never thought about that.
Anyways, what's so too fragile? Like, resin them. Dunk them in some resin. And then hit them with a little bit of gilders paste or acrylic or, you know, whatever trips your trigger to add a little color to them. And they're going to be completely and totally awesome. And I just love the look of combining things. You know, I'm not big into repurposing jewelry. And a lot of you guys might know the reason why is because too much jewelry gets broken up that shouldn't be. So it's kind of like, if I start doing a lot of repurpose, people may not understand, you know, what I'm using is, you know, worthless, because I only use busted stuff. And they might start breaking stuff up, because, you know, you go on Pinterest or any of those groups and you're going to see just all kinds of stuff where they've just broken up stuff galore. And stuff is expensive, and you know, you can, if you know vintage, you can look at their collage and like, oh my God, what did they do? What did they do? You know, so I just kind of don't like to encourage that. But with the buttons and the little bits and pieces, like, yeah, okay, fine, okay. And I even have some of that stuff that if you don't have access to any, I can sell you a little bit reasonably. We have the treasure bags now, you know, the mixed muses that are like, they're $48 now because I put more stuff in them. And they've got little watch parts and bits of brass and just all kinds of doofus you can do, you know, found item work in there. And we have some buttons now too, and more are coming, hopefully. The woman never sends them to me. So that's another story. But we won't go there.
Yeah, we won't go there.
We won't go there. Anywho. So what I did when I made this one, she's just dancing away over there.
Sorry.
She's just ready to the salsa. Okay, so what I did is I used this piece, which we do have a few on the site. I didn't get a lot of them because I wasn't sure if I was going to like them or not, being honest. So when they came in, oh yeah, I did like them. So I did keep, well, not quite a few, but a number for myself, and then I shared like 7 or 8 of them, and then I'll have to get them again. But what you need for a mount like this or like this, which we have lots of these on the site.
That's
Lots
true.
and lots of them. We have lots and lots of these.
That's what I used for my that one video I did. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. These are great for resin.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Great.
But they are 30 millimeter size. So you need a 30 millimeter dome or cameo or button or a resin collage type thing going in there, or
Ooh,
you know, some kind of, or a stone if you can find a headlight stone that's 30 millimeter that's flat back, they're perfect. But that's what I use these for. These are perfect for making button jewelry. These I bought a lot of them, and I'm getting more because these are gonna do great. They're gonna be perfect. Yeah. So everybody likes to make button jewelry, but the trick is finding the right thing to put the button into. This is it. But you do need bigger ones. All right, so now the trick is going to be for us to find a button that's going to fit in here and look right. Voila! What do you think?
It's beautiful.
It's perfect.
Are you going to cover that button over?
Well, now here's the thing with buttons. They got those ding-dang holes in the middle.
Yeah.
And I don't... Some people would just let it hang out. And who cares? It's a button. Everybody knows it. Okay, fine. But myself, I like to put something on top. Like as if you notice, for example, here, I put another button in the middle.
Yeah.
As an ornament. You don't have to do that, but I do. So what could I put in the middle? What I do is I figure out what I'm going to put in here first before I start gluing stuff. Okay? Yeah, they're wonderful. And some of us have our grandmas, so that's a nice thing too because it can make some wonderful memory jewelry that way because you might not be able to use them any other way. And in fact, that's what the May workshop is going to be about. I don't have it all worked out yet. It's not going to be all about buttons, but it will be some button jewelry. It's going to be making memory jewelry in outside the box ways. You know, everybody's seen the button bracelets where they sew it onto a band, or they use jump rings and put it on, you know, that kind of thing, and the stuff that's under glass, and you know, all that. We've seen all that. Okay, I want to look for other ways, and also too, I want to approach making memory jewelry a little bit differently. A lot of people think like, oh, if I make a memory jewelry, it's got to be about someone, or about my wedding, or my kid, or my grandma. A lot of people like to use grandma pictures. I love it too. Nothing wrong with that. That's great. But I'm thinking like, what other memories could it evoke? Good ones.
Yeah. That's not a bad idea.
You know, the Victorians, they like to do that mourning jewelry, which had human hair in it and all this other stuff for a death photo, because that was popular back then. They take a picture of them in the casket, and they put it, you know, so that was precious to them. We can't be critical. That was precious to them. But that's not what I'm talking about. And then, of course, in the Victorian and older times, they had memento mori jewelry, if you've ever heard of that. And what that is not mourning jewelry. What that is it comes from, I believe it's a Latin phrase, is remember that you will die. Nice. I don't want to wear a necklace with that on it, although it's highly collectible. No, I'm talking about that. Maybe like your favorite vacation ever. Do you guys ever bring home like little matchbooks and stuff, you know, and just bits and pieces, little shells off the beach, and pieces of just junk, you know, and you save them because it's sentimental. If you're sentimental, you probably got drawers full of stuff like that. What can we do with that? I was just thinking this morning about how can we make art charms with them, you know, just different things. So I'm getting it all worked out now. That's what that workshop's going to be. And you don't want to miss it because we are going to have a blast. It's not going to be a whole bunch of stuff that you don't have any experience with techniques. It's not going to be technique based. Like last time we did epoxy sculpt, okay? A lot of people didn't understand how to use that. I'm not saying we won't use epoxy sculpt in that class, but it's not going to be about how to use epoxy sculpt. Although I won't have a problem demonstrating it again. There are a lot of videos on here too, but it's going to be like, we're going to think together. And it's going to be great. We're going to have 2 full long days. Instead of doing them in a marathon, maybe be 3, I don't know, I have to think. Depends on all the stuff I come up with. We're going to do them every Friday for 2-3 weeks. So I know someone probably wish it was on Saturday, but that's Tavi's day off, so we don't want to tie her down with that. That's her day off. She deserves it. But unless we can talk her into, so that's up to you guys. You can pester Javi about that. But anyway, that's what the class is going to be about. And I'm already getting hoarse, so I hope you can hear me. I just envy my girls here. Their voices are so young and clear, and mine's so garbled. But I'm doing my best. So let's see what people are saying. I love vintage buttons. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Brenda. Well, thank you. So we're starting with this button. So what's going to go on next? I like to figure it out first before I just start gluing stuff in. What's it going to be? What's it going to be? Well, I could put this charm in there. It says recuerdo, which means like a souvenir. Un recuerdo, it's a little souvenir. Remembrance.
We have lots of those on the website.
Yeah, we do. We got a ton of these. But of course, I'd have to cut the top off of it, which is no problem. Or set a little chaton in it. I don't know. That's not quite it. But I do like the idea. Maybe put that in it down here or something. Let's see what else I got. I don't want to put too big of a button on there because then you won't see all the pretty carving. So that's where it gets a little bit funky. Maybe Wi-Fi. Yeah, this would be cute. If I took the shank off, that'd be pretty.
Somebody said I made a memory pendant when I came back from my vacation. Shells and corals.
Yeah, stuff you've picked up.
Yeah, that's great.
I like old paper. I mean, I love old paper. We don't talk about that much here. But I have a lot of old matchbooks that are they're not really collector quality, a little worse for the wear, but they're very kitschy and fun from the 50s and 40s. The old roadhouses, those are so cool. The old Mexican restaurant ones, I love those. So I'm talking about different things, a different thing. Class on a few Fridays, yeah. Betty, most everybody, after the last one, which was a marathon 3 days, we were all getting kind of punchy toward the end. Yeah. We all said, we got to figure out a better way to do this. We don't do the workshop where everybody comes here to me anymore. We stopped doing that because of COVID at first, and now I have some health problems that would make it just a little too hard for me to go over there for 3 days and drag all this stuff and stand and teach everybody for 3 days. So I don't think that we're going to have that again. Plus some other things that I don't want to get into with the Dutch house, but anyway, that's not encouraging, so we won't talk about it. But anyway, that's not the reason why. I could find another place. I just don't think I can do it anymore. So we'll do it online. And a lot of people have said, online is great because I can't get off that long. Plus, travel is expensive and not particularly safe. A hotel room's expensive. You got to eat. You got to rent a car a lot of times. And, just a lot of people have said, I'm so glad you did it online because I could never have come any other way. And now I can't really do it any other way. So, all right. So I like this button on here. Stop yakking and do the job, Brenda. Okay, so I got to get my little cutters out because this does have a soldered-in shank, which I always have to think twice about those, but I don't see any marks on here that make me want to stop. So here I go. I'll put my hand over it so it doesn't go flying and hit somebody. This won't hit you, huh? Hobby's, she's going on the other side. What are you doing, honey? She wants something. Oh, she's got wire. She's going to sit over there and wire something. She's making earrings, guys. Well, here's the thing, Javi. Oh, she pulled stuff out of the mix. Yeah. Well, if you make something, Javi, at the end, you got to show it.
Okay.
Okay. Show
I'll
and
try
tell.
my best.
Okay.
Show
So
and tell.
here's what I like to do with this. I would like to take and put this button in here, and then I would like to take this button and put it on top. And I think that will make a nice thing. Now, I have to decide, do I want to put it on this thing, or do I want to just not do that and just make a simple pendant, which that would be pretty too. I made a bunch of them the other week.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I did see that.
Or do I want to get one of those domes and put in there, you know, or what do I want to do? Yes, I will have it in May, Michelle. And I hope to have it pretty much around the same place I always have had it, which is mid-May. We might start like the same weekend and then go through 3 weekends, which would take it to the beginning of June. Or, you know, in May you got Mother's Day, and then you have Memorial Day weekend, so then you got graduation started. So maybe May's not the best time. So maybe we do it in June. We're going to talk about it, okay? We're going to talk about it, and we're going to decide. But that's when we've always had it, was in May. And it seemed to be the best time when we were doing it in person. And I do have to say, I will miss not being able to do that. But I just, I'm just getting too many health problems, and it's just too difficult. I've got, I'm going to glue this now, by the way, if you want to know what I'm doing. And I don't have to get it all over the whole thing, just enough so that I'm using E6000 too, I should say that. Yeah, I have advanced osteoporosis, and that means I have a lot of pain. I live with it. I have a pretty high tolerance, so I'm not complaining. And I have fibromyalgia too, but I'm not complaining. I manage. I get used to it, actually. And I don't take anything for the pain either, but it wears me down. And I have to be very careful because I could break a hip real easy. So they don't let me out of here very often. The other day I went to 2 doctor's appointments to the grocery store by myself. That was a big woohoo. Because normally John takes me about everywhere, or Jordan does. So now I'm gluing this. Now it does have filigree, so I'm hoping I don't get a bunch of stuff coming up through the mouth. So did you notice I just kind of laid it on there? I didn't smush it down on there. I just kind of laid it down. Let it kind of find its way. Oh, and when you do this kind of work, you need a lot of these.
A lot of toothpicks.
Yeah, but you can get them at dollar store cheapo, so
Yeah, that's
you don't have to
true.
worry about that. Okay, so I need a few.
Dollar store.
Okay, so now I've got this done.
Oops.
So now what I want to do is eyeball it and get it nice and straight.
Do you want to bring that up a little
Okay,
bit?
I'm sorry.
Or do you want me to bring the camera down?
No, just tell me to push it up. That's what's so great about having somebody with you. I know a lot of people do these on their own, but then they can't tell where they are, and I would be one of them. Because it's kind of hard to be watching that screen over there and watching what you're doing. So she's watching me too. You know, I need babysat.
No.
Okay, that looks pretty good to me, right? Looks pretty good to me. Look good to you?
Yep.
Okay, so
Looks good to me.
the dealio on this is, this needs to sit a while, because if I put it on here, I'm going to want to put it this way.
Aw. Michelle said, I just want to save up so I can take it this year. I learned so much from you.
Oh,
That's
you
so
do.
nice.
I'm so glad you... I don't think I'm teaching anything that special, but I think what I'm able to show you guys is all these little tiny things you don't think of. These little ins and outs. I've been doing this a long time, you know, so... And then I got my girls over here now who are doing things. I'm learning, and Javi both. Javi's been at it for a while, and she's doing a great job.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, thanks. Be careful now. Don't tell her that too much, you get a big head.
No.
Anyhow, but see, if I mount this on here now, I'm afraid this is going to shift because it's not completely flat. So how in the world am I going to make something with this on it and not put it down now? You know what? I think I'm just going to go for it and do my best. So normally what I would do is I would apply the E6000 to the back of this. But because I don't want it to shift, I'm going to set this down flat. Okay. And I'm going to try and get it all lined up good, like my little carving. Oh, I'm off camera. That's no good. My
Yeah.
little carving. I want to have it lined up perfect with this and with the top and all that. Because nothing looks worse than to put a centerpiece in the middle of something and it's all wonky, you know. Unless you deliberately want it wonky. But I mean, in this case, it should, you know, be even. So I'm going to take, and I'm going to put my glue right here.
Oh, thanks, Patricia.
What Patricia said. Oh, get to listen a bit now. Okay, honey, you have a good weekend too. I'm glad you could come for a little bit. And you can listen to it later because it's always still here.
That's
And
true.
don't forget, if you haven't yet, I think most of you girls here today have already subscribed to our Visa Boutiques channel, but we're telling everybody, please tell your friends about us.
Yeah.
Leave a nice comment. If you have
Subscribe.
questions or something and I didn't see it, just put it in the comments of the video, because we always watch for those and we always try to answer. And, you know, we want to help. And then, you know, so yeah, subscribe. You don't want to miss anything. We have good content these days. So I'm going to put right here, okay? Girls have been doing a lot of resin stuff. I don't know if you've seen their videos, but Javi did one yesterday where she used dish soap bubbles.
Yeah.
And it was so cool. It was so cool. These kids come up with stuff.
Wasn't mine.
So there's a short on that. If you want to look on YouTube, there's one right out in our lineup if you've missed that one. Or you can find it on the Bisou Boutiques page, our website page. Not the group, but the Bisou Boutiques page on Facebook. Okay? And you can find it right there. You won't have to scroll down too long. But the best place to find it at YouTube. She has an Instagram too, if you guys look at Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram.
That's there. Did you put on Pinterest yet?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So what's
Oh,
on
and I
Pinterest?
have an.
Oh, she wants to show you.
There you go.
Okay, we'll take a. We're never going to finish this, you guys, but at least we'll get us.
Here, I'll show you guys this one. I made this one. I didn't show it on video.
That's
of course.
dish bubbles, guys. That'd be cool in the middle of one of these
Oh
collages,
yeah,
wouldn't
you know
it?
what? It would be.
Look at that. Look, I'm just going to go over top of that. Here, give me this one. This one's got.
That
more
one
to
has
this.
more, you know.
I don't want it to disturb what's on it. I mean, just imagine.
Yeah, that would actually
Coolness.
look nice.
Coolness.
I wonder if you could do it on a flange.
I just wish the color was more vibrant.
On which one?
Well, both of them, but
Oh, I
this
always thought
one
this
has
one
the
was
best emotion.
Dimension?
Demotion. It's a demotion. A dimension. I mean, it looks like pearls sticking up in there. It looks
Really?
like all kinds of.
Yeah.
It looks like
It
pearls,
does.
iridescent pearls. That's wonderful. This one's good too, but it doesn't have quite the same look.
Yeah, I agree.
I like to see when, you know, her color on this is a surface technique. So she just brushes it on. You gotta watch the video. But let's get back to this, or we're never getting anywhere with it. Okay, so I wanted to tell you how you can use this, you know, odd, unique, organic material. So that means, in this case, keshi pearl, because that's what I got. And I love keshi pearl. Nuts about. There's so many ways. There's cheap keshi. There's expensive keshi that you can pay tons for. I just try to find something we can work with. So my keshi's not real expensive. When I have it, it's not real expensive. But you can use it without worrying that you're, you know, destroying anything of huge value, because it's not. But it is keshi.
Colleen said it's great for ocean beach themed pieces. Yeah.
Oh
not a
yeah,
bad idea.
but this isn't going to be ocean or beach theme, so we're going to see how it works out for this. Or does it at all? Or does it work out at all? Because it mightn't. It
Bubbles.
mightn't work out at
Bubbles.
all. Okie doke. So I got my little cornflake keshis. And I got these, and of course these would be my bigger pieces. So they're going on the bottom first. So this is how we're going to form our design, really. This one's got a really, it's got a bend to it. So it would be best being toward the bottom if I decide I want to use it there. And then this one's got a little lip to it. So that's kind of cute up there. But I don't know if I like that. Yeah, that's okay. sometimes they're kind of broken, like, and it's like, you might like it. I'm personally not a huge fan of that, so I tried to avoid those pieces. But anyway, remember that song? But anyway.
Somebody said Brenda, is an endless source of ideas.
Oh, I don't know about that. That's why I need my girls. I'm getting old. But I'll probably always have an endless source of ideas. That's
true.
That's how I roll. She's always got more ideas, and it's good for her.
I'm amazed with all the ideas you come up with, Brenda.
You have lots of ideas.
Yeah, well, it's okay.
Especially after you watch a lot of YouTube.
I don't have a lot of ideas.
You didn't catch that.
I don't think I have a lot of ideas, but okay.
Well, here's the thing. The more you do this kind of stuff, the more you will. Okay, here's my start right here. I've got an asymmetrical line, high, low, this way. And these fit here. So this is going down. It's going down. And some rippling and stuff is cool because you can put micro beads in there. You can put little baby pearls. Yeah, there's a string on there, I know, but I'm going to take care of that. See, he just drifted right down in over top of it.
There you go. But you never know.
Nothing to it, honey. No. When this is dry, I might take a little bit of patina gilders paste and color that.
Thanks for joining.
Denise. Oh, Denise made it.
She just jumped in.
That's cool. And no one is ever late.
Yeah, you're never late, guys.
You're never late because you can always go back and watch it. Yeah. If you miss something, big deal. Not the end of the world.
No.
Okay, now I need stuff to fill in. So normally what I would do now, next thing, is I'd look for some big buttons for right here, and then toward the end, I'll look for something with a hole. So that, in recent times, and I did it on here so maybe you can see a sewing snap? This covers the hole.
Oh, hi.
And this. Hey, Maureen. How you doing, girl? See the holes in the end of the thing?
Yep.
Okay. I don't like those just hanging out.
Yeah, me
now, I don't know about you. If you do, it's not wrong, okay? I just personally don't want to see that. So I got to try and find what I have that I can cover that with or come real close around with it, okay? Well, I just figured out buttons and sewing snaps are just wonderful for that. Let me show you. I'm going to put this one here.
Woohoo.
And I'm going to get it lined up just right.
To zoom in
and test it with my toothpick to make sure that I still have my hole there because I don't want to lose it. And now that's covered. And this is cool because we're using found items and disparate items, meaning very strange, odd, different things that you don't normally put together. And, just something out of the ordinary. And this is why people are going to love our jewelry because it's unique.
It is.
And it makes you think of things. Memories. She had the same idea I did. Remember that?
Oh, you know why? I think it's because I watched A Nanny and that had that song in there.
Oh, would you know where that song comes from? I bet you don't. You're too young.
No.
There was a very, very popular movie. These ladies are going to know it. What was it, girls? You know it. The Way We Were. Good old Robert Redford. Oh, my goodness. He was a big heartthrob back then.
Wow.
And he's just an old man now. The rest of us. Still has a full head of hair, though.
We're all headed there anyway.
Yeah, well, that's the way it goes. John, he always says, first of all, he says, well, be glad you're not deformed.
That's true.
But some people are, so we don't want to say that. But anyway, that's unfortunate.
Hi.
But just be glad. It's better than the alternative.
Hello.
They could always be worse. That's the thing. Renee, how are you?
Hello, Renee.
It can always be worse. It could always be worse. Always. Okay, so now see, I got these both covered. So I don't have to worry about, getting stuff up against that and getting it, where it needs to go. Okay, hey, just joining.
The Way We
Hello.
Were.
The Way We Were. Great movie, she says. Yeah.
Is that what the movie was called?
Yeah.
Oh man, now I have to find it.
And it was about, what was it about World War II, and he was a soldier, and then she was kind of militant, and he came out, and she was like doing the thing with the blacklisted type stuff, and Communist Party or whatever, and people weren't liking her too good, but they fell in love, and she was very feisty and fighting for what she felt, was right, for people. I'm going to put that there. I like it there. That's a good base button. First time watching. Renee Clark. Really?
Woohoo!
Oh, so happy. Can we love it when we see new people? Let me tell you what.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Don't forget to subscribe. There's Javi. She nailed you with that. She's always telling me, don't forget to tell them to subscribe.
Subscribe to the channel for more.
I just can't. I can't decide yet what to use this for. This looks like it's part of. No, it's a button.
It's a button.
It says Remington Peters. Isn't that
Remington Peters?
Ammunition?
Never heard of that.
Anyway,
Remington
12 gauge. I don't know. I hate to cover up the writing, but I've got to have the right place for it. And this isn't it. This ain't it.
Button.
This ain't it. Okay, so now I've got another big old button here. But I think it's too big old. So I'm going to push it back. We're not using that one. Okay, so what else can we do? I need to find just the right... would I want to use that? No. No!
Thanks, Renee, for subscribing. She's like, I did it, done.
Aw, bless her heart.
Thanks.
Bless her heart. You're our new favorite person.
Hello, Emily from Oklahoma. I love watching your videos and shopping your website. Woo!
Oh, we love you shopping our website. Who's that?
Emily.
Emily Neslin. Okay. My uncle used to live in Oklahoma. He did. He worked for...
Welcome, everybody.
Something. Anyway.
Somebody said shotgun
I think I'm going to put this here. It's a shotgun shell, is it?
Yes.
Shotgun shell end. What I don't understand about it, though, maybe someone did this, Colleen. It's made into a button.
You might have.
But I think I see solder there, so someone may have done that. Just taken shotgun shell and made it into a button. Maybe.
Yeah.
Could be.
It's not a bad idea.
Could be. Shotgun, shoot 'em up, baby. Oh, that's not a good song to sing. Okay, so I need another bigger button. So I like this shell over here. That would be pretty, huh?
Ooh.
That's a good. We're trying to keep it in form and not, a little bit off is okay, but we don't want to get it off here. What'd you say? Ooh,
there's a website to show.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, it's called www.beastofboutiques.com.
Yeah, she'll put it.
I should probably put a link up there.
Yeah,
that would actually help.
In fact, there's a big website, Renee. I've been on the internet since 1997. We've been doing videos here at YouTube for going on. No, I think it's just 11 years now.
Well, you started in 2010, I think.
Did I?
Yeah.
Well, then it's longer than that.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
So I'm experimenting still to see where I want my organic material. There's a big old piece. No, I don't like that. I don't like that one either. Let's see if this looks better. No, I want some high and low. I want some dimension to it.
Yeah.
Dimension. No. Me don't like you that. Okay, so what if I put it there? No, there's something sticking up I don't like. Okay, what about that? I'm just going to leave it sit there for a while I'm deciding. See, this is the thing that takes time. But you know what I say is put your music on, get in a groove, have some fun. Just go in your zone. We need to be in our zone sometimes now, guys, because there's a lot going on out there that's just not happy. And sometimes there's something you can do about things, and sometimes there just isn't. So why make yourself sick? So you just need to get away from it for a while and do something that you love. You deserve that.
Denise said those metal buttons are amazing.
Their metal buttons are amazing. You like them. I love metal buttons.
Do you have a lot over there? That are on
Well, I have a lot of the shirt buttons. I don't know.
What are these? Oh, they're
Oh,
not
these
metal.
ones, yeah, these are cool.
Those are
But they're
nice.
remember. Well, no, Denise said that. Yeah, Denise just came in. These are not old. They're not new, but they're not old. So I'm not worrying that I'm destroying something valuable. The only thing is they have this self shank in the back. That's one of the ways you can tell it's not that old because they did that from 40s, 50s on. Okay, but you know what? That might. What do you think?
Oops.
I'd have to put a lot of stuff in here. Well, let me see. Let me just try something.
Get some what?
Look at my little cabs. Here they are. My little cabs.
Little cabs.
Okay. Little cab stones. I've got some little cab stones.
I don't know what they are.
Okay. Yeah, to do that, I'd have to put something in there, layer something down in there, like maybe another little piece of Ooh, I just got it.
What?
Keshi.
Keshi.
Keshi. I don't know though, because that being there so close kind of competes with the centerpiece. So no.
Oh yeah.
You
need like something.
I'm gonna decide not to do that.
Maybe a darker keshi?
Maybe that's going to go there.
How about that?
That's got some dimension to it. Now what I did is I just turned this over. I like how it looks on the back better. I do. And I like this one for here too, but it's I'd have to move this one down and up. I can't have it like some people would do things like this and they'll just go da 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 all around. And if that's what you like, I'm not being critical. I'm just saying I think it's more artful when you shift it up and down and give it like a lot of times when I make collage jewelry out of broken things and buttons and bits and pieces and that, when I look at it, I want to look down at it and just pretend like I'm looking down into somebody's jewelry box. Just the way stuff naturally laid there. You know, like with this piece. I just want to look down there and just kind of get the feeling like this is just random. It's not terribly planned. That's how I like it. Sometimes I do better than other times. This one does look a little bit planned, but it's still got some of that going on. So, that's kind of like how I want it.
The brass buttons complement your centerpiece nicely.
Yes, I think so. Maureen. Maureen is a woman with great taste. And she's a teacher, too.
No.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
See, I'm giving your secrets away, Maureen.
Dun, dun, dun.
Maureen teaches young people how to make jewelry. Yes.
That sounds great.
That's great.
We need more people out there like that.
Yeah. You know who used to do a lot of teaching, too, is our friend Leslie Schmidt. I can't say it. Leslie Schmidt. Leslie been around a whole lot because she had breast cancer. And she had to get that taken care of. And she's on the mend. So I hope we'll see her back with us again soon. But yeah, she did a lot of teaching. I think she did a lot of hers at Michael's, to be honest with you. Good old Michael's. Whoopie days.
I think they're free. Or no.
Okay, so now I got a crack in here. Something needs to go in there. Like a little shim type item. And that's perfect. That's going to slide right in there. Sometimes it goes together and sometimes it works. It's still love it. Yes. You know what I call that when it just goes together? Kismet. It's kismet. It's just like it was supposed to be that way. Like, I don't know if you remember, we're doing the 50s challenge on the group, and if any of you are interested
50s?
in that, yes, it's it's 80s. I'm sorry, thank you for, duh.
It's okay.
Anyway, it's the 80s challenge, and so Howie came to work this morning, she says, how come you get all that 80s music videos and stuff on there?
Yeah, I was a little confused.
I says, well, did you read?
No.
No.
I don't read.
Well, I don't feel bad. Nobody reads. Anyway, anywho, so yeah, we're doing an 80s challenge. And
80s challenge.
I don't know where I was
I wasn't
going
born
with
in
that.
the 80s, so I don't know what's...
Well, that doesn't matter.
I don't know what to do.
Did you ever watch Star Wars?
Yeah.
When do you think they made that?
The 80s?
Some of it, yeah.
I don't know. Some of it was from the 90s, I know.
Some of it was also from the 70s.
Aw,
The
bless you.
first movie was.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It was from the...
Uh-huh.
I should have known.
Yeah, hard to believe it.
Sorry,
That
I'm not
long
like
ago.
a big Star
But
Wars
yeah, but I
fan,
mean,
whatever.
we liked all those movies. Like had Molly Ringwald. She was our girl. Molly Ringwald,
Molly.
Pretty in Pink.
That one, yes, I have watched
Do you know
those.
that? I
Yes.
love that movie. Oh my god. Beans went and got a whole bunch of scenes from Pretty in Pink since she's seen it 100 times. She's our 80s girl. And Debbie. Debbie too.
80s.
But, you know, being honest,
A lot of music
there's a
from
lot
that
of
time.
funky stuff from the 80s, but there's a lot of really elegant stuff too.
That's true.
And Jennifer Williams sent me a link this morning showing me some stuff, you know, that's worthy of Vogue magazine, you know. I guess you guys can just watch me here where I'm going with this. And it made me think, you know, that is how I really dress. I would like to buy, I would enjoy buying well-made, tailored clothing and then just layer jewelry all over it. Just go for it, you know. I had a lot of Ann Taylor and Jones New York and other brands. Never had Chanel. I'm sorry, I can't afford that. But anyway. But it was Chanel type looking type things, you know. And I was, that's my look. That's what I liked, you know. But I did like the fun, funky. I never dressed like Madonna, but I did have that big hair. Oh yeah, big old hair and a banana clip, over permed stuff. But it was fun. And it's a fun era, and there's so many ways you can go with that. And so if you're not in the creative group, I hope you come over and join us. The challenge is going to start
Should probably put a
Monday.
link for that too.
Monday. And it's going to go through till 2 weeks. I think it's 21st or something. Anyway, and you do need to use Bisou Boutique stuff in it. And why is that? Why do I ask that? It's because I want to use your pictures to promote you and us. And if I don't have anything in there to promote us, it doesn't work for us and you. You know, it just doesn't work. So I need for you to be mostly using my stuff. But like, yeah, you could use some buttons in it. But to be honest with you, I don't know if that this is a I keep saying if this is an 80s look. I don't know, 80s girls, what do you think? I don't think so. But make a few changes and it is. Just think, what would those changes be? Color. A lot of 80s jewelry, especially the dime store type stuff, inexpensive stuff, it was colorful, bright colors. So, you will want to get some plastic, because there was a lot of plastic in the 80s. Usually Italian lucite, there was a lot of that. Some moon glow, and then some just regular old plastic. And then you would want some colorful big buttons.
Hello, Andrea.
And then you would want big beads going up around the neck.
I put the link for
And
the
it'd be
creative
so totally 80s if you did that. Just with a few changes. And you know, you can do that. You know, you can go from style period to style period, a lot of times just changing up a little bit of color. No kidding, really.
Oh, Emily said, I love Molly. 16 Candles, one of my favorites.
16 candles. Yeah, that was cute.
That was a nice one.
That was a cute
Color
cute movie.
change.
I like Ducky.
What's Ducky?
Ducky was in Pretty in Pink.
Oh,
He was that guy that was
yeah.
always chasing around after her. And Annie
Yeah.
Potts was awesome in that movie, too. She must be a really old lady by now. I don't hear anything out of Molly Ringwald anymore, but she was younger than me, I know that. She would be probably in her late 50s at least.
I always wonder where all these celebrities go after a while.
Yeah. Oh, Molly Ringwald was very interesting. She's extremely intelligent, and her father was a blind jazz musician, if I remember the story right. And they lived in Paris a lot, and that is why Molly Ringwald speaks fluent French. I don't know if you knew that, but she does. And that's just some cool things about good old Molly. I loved her hair in Pretty in Pink, too.
Yeah.
If I was going to go back to red, which I did red for many years. In fact, I had her color hair several times. I would like that haircut. That was awesome. I don't know, that haircut wouldn't look bad in gray hair either, honestly. I just don't want to have my hair short anymore. I have my hair long now. I don't know if you guys can hear me. If you can't hear me, I tend to mutter. And
My hair's really long.
if you can't hear me, one thing, yeah, her hair's real long.
It's ridiculous.
If I'm muttering, what the first thing to do is make sure your speakers are turned way up. You'll hear me fine usually. But if not, just say something to me, because I don't want to make a whole video and no one could hear it, but my voice isn't strong anymore. So I can only go so long. Are getting harder and harder to find. Do you carry them? Yeah, we have some, Maureen.
Yeah, we do have some.
We have some nice shell ones, and we have some other ones coming in real soon. So yeah, we do have some. And I'm also supposed to have a big load of common, ordinary shirt buttons like the ones I used to use when I made my line. They are so good for making jewelry. Little ones, like this type thing. Big load of them. And I'll be able to sell them very reasonably, and it'll be a good source for you to get that kind of button if that's what you like. I do. I can't get enough of them, but it's just taken forever to get here. I'm getting a little disgusted. But they'll probably show up anytime. And then I'll say, why did I get fussed up? Fussed up for nothing. Okay. So, what if...
Emily said the last show I remember Molly was The Secret Life of the American Teenager.
Really? I don't know that one, Emily. I have to look that up.
I think I remember that show. But...
You know what? You can find out real quick if you Google her. You'll find out all kinds of stuff. My husband and I like to do that. He likes to Google people, find out how much money they have. You know how much so-and-so's worth. I'm like, really?
Oh, wow. That came up in the search engine.
What? Did you see? Did you find?
Yeah.
Did you find Molly?
Yeah.
How old's
She's
Molly?
54.
54. I told you she was up there.
She doesn't look too bad.
Where does she look? Let me see what she looks like.
I mean...
That's her now?
Yeah. I think.
Somebody's had some work done. Somebody's had some work done. I think I'm going to put my compass there. I kind of like it there.
Where?
Right here.
Oh, yeah.
It competes a little bit with my centerpiece, but this one's wiggling. So it adds dimension, I think. So it's going on there. That's it. Let's do it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. That's it.
Aww. Michelle says, I remember... What does it say? Through the thrift stores in the 80s, I was always looking for bling. 1928 was very in, and I couldn't afford it.
Oh, yeah, that was the glory days of 1928, let me tell you.
Really? Was it the 80s?
Oh, yeah. The beginning of the 80s, they almost lost the company.
What?
Because that's when Richard quit, and he wanted Mel to buy him out now. And so Mel had to sell a bunch of stuff. And this is not telling tales out of school. I touch on that in the book.
Yes, there's a...
And Richard knows. Richard's okay with telling a story. He's a good guy.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, I love
Not
Richard.
the bad guy.
Richard is one of the most brilliant, natural-born artists when it comes to style I think you could ever meet. He is brilliant. And it's a shame he doesn't work for that company anymore, but he and Mel couldn't get along anymore, so he just said, you know, Brenda, I had to get out of there or I was going to die. So he left in 83, and he surrendered his pliers and all his jewelry tools, gave them to somebody, and he never made a piece of jewelry again.
That's kind of sad.
And it is sad. It's very
It's
sad.
like, I would never give up on one thing. I understand giving up on the company, but
He became
jewelry.
he became a sculptor for a while. He lives in New
that's not too
Mexico
bad.
in a very artistic
still
community.
artistic.
Yeah, very artistic community. But and his wife is a jewelry maker. Well, she's not his wife. She's his partner. He calls her.
Oh.
But they've been together a long, long time.
Partners forever.
Anyway, so I'm liking how this is forming up, guys. What do you think? My
Yeah.
main concern is going to be I have to keep this straight. I have to keep this part straight. I want to pick this up and find out it's like locked
Oh.
off to the side, because then I'll have to pull everything apart and put it back on, because that is just not acceptable. Period. The end. I have spoken. So, I think I need some more keshi right in here. Have I got any? Have I got any more?
Any more keshi? I don't know if I like that color with that.
I need some more keshi.
What kind of keshi? The
This
green
kind
ones?
of green ones, yeah, they're the best.
think they're
I
the
have some
best.
little bronzy ones too, but I might have used
Yeah,
them.
you do have bronzy ones in here.
Well, pull some of them out.
Okay.
Pull a few of them out.
The bronzy and the green ones?
Yeah, both of them. Why not?
Okay.
If I use them, I use them. If I don't, I don't. But yeah, so they almost lost the company in the beginning of the 80s, but Mel pulled out of it. He had an associate that came back to work for him that really helped him out a lot, and they got through some tough times, and when they came out of it, they were on top. Let me tell you what, cooking with gas. The 80s and 90s were the big deal times for their company. They're still doing okay, but it's not like it used to be, because, you know, their department store line and the department stores are all folding. You know, there's not too many of them left.
Well, not a lot of people go to the mall either. So.
No, they don't. They don't go to the mall.
So,
Which
that's
surprised
usually
me
the
when I
problem.
first started, you know, hanging out in 1928. I mean, I thought, I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, what? People don't go to the mall? I mean, I was so out of it. It was so stupid. I mean, I didn't go to the mall. That's why I didn't know. No, don't you know? All these department stores closed up. Oh, really? Okay. So, yeah, so there's not a lot of department stores anymore. In fact, there are a couple places on the internet where you can read about the department stores that have folded, and it's amazing. There are only a few left.
Yep.
In the United States, anyway. So, yeah. But yeah, they managed to recover all the times that they had problems. And he does a lot more retail now with the website, you know, but, yeah. Yeah, he pulled back, got it back going where it needed to go. I don't know if I want that there or not.
Deep, 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 deep.
So, ML did all kinds of stuff. It's amazing how many companies he dabbled in. He once owned a jewelry company in South Africa
Really?
for a little while, yeah. It was semi-precious stuff. And
Ooh.
was trying to get it to go, but it was too hard because he couldn't be there all the time, you know, so.
Oh, yeah, that's...
So it's just kind of hard to get it to do what he wanted to, so he let it go after not too long. And then if you go on their website, you see all that vintage clear rhinestone jewelry. That's all stuff he got out of another factory that he owned for a short while in Providence. But he's trying to sell it off now, and I think he thinks it's gold or something, because it's not worth what he's asking for. But I don't think he cares. Sell it if he sells it. Okay, so I'm getting there, guys. You see where I'm going with this? It's forming up nice, isn't it? And it looks like it's fairly straight as well. So,
Sorry.
good composition. Somebody liked it. VUM today. Is that spam, hubby?
Yeah, I removed it.
Okay. Like, that don't look right to me. Okay.
That
yeah,
doesn't
I
look
hate when
right.
people do that.
Yeah, well, that's the life of YouTube.
I guess they're thinking, you know, we're going to go look at it. But we're not.
Ooh, that little heart button. Deb says a little heart button. Do you have a heart button over there?
I do. Here's one. Is this the one? Is that it?
Oh, yeah.
That's Mother of Pearl.
That's really pretty. I didn't
It
even
is
notice that.
pretty. Yeah, I got that the other day.
Emily says, I have a few pieces of 1928 from back in the day that I got from Kohl's. They
Yeah,
are some of
Kohl's
my
still
favorite
sells
pieces.
it. Kohl's still sells it. But I think it's only online. They used to have it in their
Oh.
store. One of my most memorable pieces that I remember back in the day when I could only look at it and couldn't afford to buy any, they had this huge, big, pink rhinestone flamingo brooch. It was like 4 inches up and down. And I wanted that thing so bad, but it was $125. I just couldn't do it, you know. So Mel found the parts for me, and he had the stones to make it too, but I couldn't afford to buy 50 of them. It was anytime he's putting stones in something, it gets real spendy. Because then he has to have the ladies, that's all handwork. He has to have the ladies put them in. So anyway, so the quote I just couldn't handle it. I couldn't do it. Because I have to buy 50 or I can't get them. So, anywho, you're there. He says, well, we could make these into a kit. I could give you all the stones, and we can make the base for you, the flamingo, and get it plated for you, and put the pin back on for you. Then all your girls have to do is just set the stones, and kind of like paint by numbers. And I thought, well, I'm sure I'm not talking loud enough. I'm sorry, guys. It's kind of like paint by numbers that way. And I kind of thought and then I said, well, how much? And it was still too high. Still too high. I says, well, some things would be interesting, but people have a limit to what they can pay.
Yep.
His thing, he says, is you never know what people can pay. Well, I'm sorry, baby. I do know what people can pay. Because most of my customers are just like me. And you've got a limit. You've got a limit. So if you've had the good experience to be able to sell anything you want to for whatever you want to, then good. Go for it.
Yeah.
But I don't have that, And almost nobody I know who's a customer or a friend has that either.
Yeah.
You have a limit. People always see stuff, oh, I love that. Because they say, oh, I love it, does not mean they're going to buy it.
That is so true.
They might love to buy it, but they can't. Got bills to pay,
Got bills to pay.
It's the way of it. Okay, so I'm doing pretty good on this side. But over here, I'm struggling a little bit. Just a little bit. Because I got to find something here, and there's a big kind of crack, and so it's going to fill it just right. Something's going to have to go under it because there's going to be too much space underneath. So that's going to be kind of an interesting struggle, but I will figure it out. But anyway, oh my goodness, it's almost 5 o'clock, and I have to leave. Oh my goodness, my friends won't wait for me. I'm going to have to go, girls. I've kept you here an awfully long time, but thank you for coming. I think you can see how this is going, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish it this weekend. I'm finishing it this weekend, and then I'm going to put it on the Bisou Boutiques Creative Group. If you are not yet a member of that group, if you could stay on Facebook, or maybe you're on already.
Or we can put it in the community tab if you want a picture of it.
Yeah, we could. Oh, we could definitely put it in the community tab here at YouTube too. You can see it that way, and we could put it on Instagram, and we could put it at Pinterest.
Yeah, it would be
But
beautiful.
the creative group is where we gather. That's our community. That's where we gather.
Yes.
That's where we hang out.
That's where we post
voice our
pictures.
opinions, where we post our pictures. Because let me tell you, there are some very, very talented people among us. And they're not all hoity-toity or smarty about it. It's a kind bunch of people. Very, very kind bunch of people. I'm worried. I got to look here. It doesn't look like it's... No, this slid over bad. Ooh, good thing I found it now. This has to come way over. Okay. Well, I can work this out. Well, I'm going to have to let you go, girls. I love you dearly. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah.
I don't have a drawing this week, but I will have one again very soon. Come join us at the group. Just ask to come in, because it's one of those groups you ask to come in. We'll admit you, and you're going to make so many new friends. You've got friends that you don't even know who are waiting there to meet you. That's the truth of it. Yeah. So thanks so much for being with us. I appreciate it. And I got to go get my clothes changed and take off.